I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Hello, and good afternoon again. I am Pioneer, and this is I Am Sure Sports, and this is another, a series around the NBA. Back with another review of happenings around the NBA, and today I'm bringing along a few friends with me. Today we have a man who I call the best basketball analyst in Jamaica. Mind you, people, I said basketball. I didn't say NBA. I have him as the number 2 ranked NBA analyst in Jamaica. Second to yours truly, of course. But in terms of overall basketball analysis, I respect this man's views.
Respect, sir.
We have the one and only G-Star with us today. Welcome for G-Star.
Blessings.
And later on, people are expecting a link from Chris Lynch, who should be with us in short order. All right. As I said, we're going around the NBA, and we'll be discussing a couple of things today. Namely, we want to discuss the NBA All-Star selections. As you know, last week, the starters for the All-Star game were selected from both the West and the East. And this week, we saw, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday, we saw the selection of the reserves from both West and East. G-Star, I'm going to give you a little chance to tell us what you think of the selectees for the All-Star.
All right. For me, say Andrew Wiggins is my baller, but him getting the starting nod I'm not so sure about that. That was a little bit shaky. The fan votes make up 50%, media 25, and I think coaches. Either coaches or players. I'm not sure. I think it might be players actually to see who starts, right? So I think Wiggins got a lot of the fan votes. He was third in the West for the fan vote, so that kind of bring him over the top. There's no Paul George, no Kawhi. Anthony Davis was injured as well. So if you notice, no Lillard as well.
A lot of
But all in all, though,
the perennial all stars are carrying injuries.
yeah, but all in all, though, I do think Wiggins is an all-star. If we're being 100% about it, Devin Booker, he's not an all-star starter just because of the format. You have two guards and three front court, right? And then you're not going to take out Steph, right? Steph is a fan favorite. And then no, Ja Morant is absolutely deserving, in my opinion.
Most definitely.
Right? Yeah. So and then all in all, no, I think who my replacement would have been Karl Anthony Towns. So in the Western Conference, I think all the players they got it right. You could make an argument that DeJounte Murray is having a little bit better of a season than Wiggins. Wiggins would be the odd person.
We're gonna get to that, G-Star. I'm gonna ask you about your snubs and thing, but others asking your views of who has gotten in. Go to the East now and tell me what you think about the
All right, so the East. I like everybody in the East. I think who is it? It's Giannis, KD, Joel Embiid.
Trae Young.
Who else? Trae Young.
DeMar DeRozan.
And DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, so I think they got that right. You could make an argument that Zach LaVine should be starting over Trae Young, but if you look at Trae Young's numbers are eye-popping, right? Like some 29 points, 9 assists, something crazy like that, right?
Yeah.
So and then I know you say you don't want to talk about the snubs, but when you're talking about all-stars, you have to talk about the snubs.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the snubs. All right, since you insist. So
yeah, man.
For me, the snubs in the East.
For me, I think that LaMelo Ball should have gotten it.
Ahead of who?
Because Charlotte is like on the 6th. They're kind of teetering in the 6th place, 7th place, and they're playing well, right? And then Middleton. I would have taken off Chris Middleton because for me, Chris Middleton's not having a good season, and he's been hurt a decent amount of games. He's missed about 10 games.
Again, the position, Middleton got in as a forward, not as a guard.
No, man, but you still always have 2 extra spaces at the end for a guard or a forward. So for me though, I'm not feeling Chris Middleton. But what's interesting though is that Draymond Green, who's averaging a triple single in the West, is in. Draymond Green is averaging 8 points, 7.5 assists, and like 7.5 rebounds.
Are you then saying that Draymond's selection is not
No, man, Draymond's selection is absolutely warranted. Absolutely warranted. If he had played all his games, he might have been a start over Wiggins. Remember, Draymond Green right now, he's on pace to be the defensive player of the year.
There you go. And as we know, basketball is played on both ends.
Yeah, man, 2 sides of the game. So that's it for me, for my outside. But all in all,
yeah,
I think all in all they got it right. They got it about 95% right.
Well, for those who you might have thought got snubbed, here are a couple of the persons who have been selected, both starters and reserves who are nursing injuries. KD, don't think he'll be playing.
And KD and Draymond.
Draymond won't be playing. LeBron is doubtful.
LeBron? LeBron can play. LeBron more than likely is gonna play. More than likely.
I mean, his team is in a situation where they need him. I don't think you'd risk further injury just playing in the All-Star game. We're talking about 2 weeks away. There's no
Yeah.
timeline as to his return right now. So I'm sure that if he doesn't come back before the All-Star break, it's unlikely that you're gonna see him playing in the All-Star game. So for those
Yeah.
who
There you go.
who have been snubbed, I'm sure there's a chance for some of them to get in. I think they will be selected by the commissioner Adam Silver to replace the injured players. So for a person like a Lamela Ball, what I would like to make a case for a lot of the youngsters who didn't get in.
Like,
Jared Allen from the Cavs. Exciting play. I would love to see those guys playing in the All-Star game. Those, especially somebody like Allen who plays above the rim. The All-Star weekend is a show.
really?
So
Jared Allen, you think Jared Allen is a showstopper like that? He's
yeah, man.
more of a catcher alley-oop type. He's not that exciting for All-Star game pioneer. Jared
Trust me,
Allen?
I have been watching Jared Allen all season. Shot
Yeah.
blocking, dunking,
No man can definitely do that for sure.
and
That's
that is what the NBA is about. The NBA is a show. You want to see some highlight dunks and you want to see some highlight
yeah.
blocks.
But who I'm happy for though, I'm happy for Darius Garland
Yeah,
from
Garland.
the Cleveland
Um,
Cavaliers.
we're gonna get into that soon, G Star. We're gonna break down the standings and look at the teams and look at the makeup of these teams. But all in all, I think as I say, a lot of the perennial All Stars are out. Like a Kyrie Irving is out. Anthony Davis, people like
Lillard,
Lillard, who are
Paul
perennial.
George, Kawhi.
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. So we're seeing some new faces. We're seeing some younger faces, and
Yeah.
it's all in all, it's people like a Clay Thompson who would, had he been healthy, would have more than likely been in the All-Star setup. So it's good to see some new faces. Looking forward to the All-Star week.
Especially Ja Morant, because some people have Ja as the most exciting player in the NBA right now. Might
All
tell
right.
you.
So since you went there, J Star, we're gonna transition into some conversations that I've been having in recent times. Been having a conversation about, and I remember us having this conversation on this medium last year about who is the best point guard in the league. So
No,
I'm gonna.
the point guard. No, man, it was the best guards. It wasn't point guard. It was guards, I believe.
All right, good. We were talking about the best guard. So I'm gonna ask you at this time, G Star, to name me your top 5 guards in the league.
The same thing.
Same thing.
Boy, the first four, if you remember, it was a lock for all of us,
Yeah.
We had said Steph, Dame, Luca, and Steph, Dame, Luca, and James Harden, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think he can take out any one of those 4 players, right? And then
Even with Dame being inactive right now.
yeah, but you can't lose in place because of injury. I mean, it's still Dame, right? So if you're taking out injury, then it becomes a whole lot easier if you take out Dame.
We are look at the top 5 guards who are
Who's playing right now?
active in the league right now. We're gonna change the
Okay.
parameter. We're gonna change the
All right,
parameter.
fine. All right. So take Dame out.
Yeah.
Take Dame out, right? So at number 4, for me, you'd have to put Ja Morant in there at number 4, right? And
Ja
then
Morant.
now, yeah.
All right.
And
So
then
we
now
have
you and I.
we have at number 5.
Yeah, you and I had this discussion last year.
All right. So all right. So give me the list, man.
Hold on. I said it was Devin Booker. You said it was Donovan Mitchell, right?
Okay.
And even though Devin Booker went to the finals, I have to admit, Donovan Mitchell.
We're discussing top 5 guards who are active.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell.
So we're not looking at overall, no, we're looking at this year.
Yeah, man. So,
right, so
I'm saying the 5th person.
Selections from 5 to 1.
The 5th person is Donovan Mitchell. So it's Donovan Mitchell.
Is number 5.
Ja Morant.
Number 4.
Then you go James Harden.
Harden still makes a list?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
And then Luca and Steph.
Yeah, so no place for Booker.
Because I can't put Booker over Donovan Mitchell. See what I'm saying? Like, because Donovan Mitchell proven to improve it again to me that he's box office when it comes to playoff time. I remember I said Booker in a Pioneer, so I would want Booker to be the better player. But Mitchell proved to me last year that, yeah, he's that guy.
All right. So I want to give you my top 5, and based on his play this year, James Harden doesn't make my top 5 this time around.
Have you seen his numbers though?
Yeah, man. But you see, me I look on the people with all around games. And if I were gonna go by numbers, I would choose Trae Young over James Harden. As Trae Young,
Okay.
Trae Young has better numbers at this time than Harden, and I think Trae Young is 5th in terms of points and 3rd. Don't quote me. 5th in points and 3rd in assists, I think. But he has better numbers.
Yeah, that sound like about right. Yeah.
He has better number than Harden. But I'm looking for the people who play the basketball on both ends of the court. And even if they're not top tier defenders, they do play defense. So at the top of my list, at the top of and I'm gonna go from 5 to 1. Donovan Mitchell, although he has missed some time this season, is number 5 on my list.
All
right. Number 4 on my list would be Devin Booker. And number 3 on the list would be a man who is balling right now, missed a little bit of time, but has come back and is helping his team to climb up the standings. Have to give it up. And you see, somebody just mentioned Chris Paul. Chris Paul keeps getting snubbed in this conversation, you know. And for the sake of this conversation, I would have Chris Paul as my honorable mention. So I slid in Devin Booker over Chris Paul because it's a Suns thing. So I'm sliding in Booker over. But number 3 for me would be Luka. Luka has come back and is balling. All right. Number 2 for me on the list would be Steph Curry. You know, the chef started out the season on fire. At one point, he looked like the runaway MVP candidate, but the truth is he has cooled off a bit. Numbers have come down.
Statement. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he has cooled off. If you want to say he has gotten cool, he has gotten cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we have a couple of people at the, joining the stream, you know. See, we have a brethren, Chris Lynch. And I don't know if Chris Lynch has been listening to what is happening. I will have CC Sports Lab on the line. You know, it's always good to have.
Yeah. That's not the same CC from Portmore, is it?
No, I don't know. CC from Portmore, but CC Sports Lab joining the stream. So welcome forward.
Yeah, man, big up G-Star and Pioneer.
Big up yourself,
CC Sports
Lab. CC from Portmore.
CC from Portmore. All right, CC. Welcome, my brother.
Same one.
All right. And I hope you guys have heard. You guys heard my question to G-Star earlier, and I pose the same question to you. But I'm gonna complete my list. As I said, G-Star number 2 on the list for me would be number 2 on the list for me would be the chef. Now I said the chef. Started out the season. That's cool, but what I love what the chef is doing right now is because of the absence of Draymond in the team, the chef's all-around game, his point guard skills are coming to the fore right now. We see him passing, we see him playmaking, and I love that. Even though his scoring numbers are down, but we have him at number 2. But for me, the number 1 guard in the league this year. See, and some person might argue that his team has done well without him because he has missed some time too, but his team has done. But just for his play, I have Ja Morant right now as the number 1 guard in the league for me right now. What do you think, Chris Lynch?
Yeah, Ja Morant has stepped up big time this season.
Give me a top 5. I remember us having this argument, but we change the parameters a little bit. Last year we were looking at the top 5 guards in overall in the league. This year we're looking at top 5 guards active in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of changes and all of that.
Yeah, but even for those who, because we're not talking about a person like a Dame Lillard who has been out for most or majority of the season. we know some of these players have missed some amount of time. But for those who are active and who have participated in most of the season, give me a top 5.
Yeah, you need it in order, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, man, go from 5 to 1. We could just
go
fit it
from
up.
5.
Yeah,
or 1 to 5.
whichever. All right. But so I'm not put your foot to the fire too much. Just give me your top 5. So if you are in no particular, just give me 5 in no particular.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
obviously,
I'm a
like you say,
fan.
yeah, basically, I don't have much time to think about it. But man, go by team. When you're looking at the teams doing good, obviously Chris Paul, I don't know, Chris Paul, Devin Booker must be in it because of how well the Suns are playing, basically.
All right. Agreed.
Yeah, so Devin Booker 5, Steph Curry 4, and then you look around at the Jazz. When you look at the Jazz team, I guess you have to go with, you're still using what's his name? Mitchell as a
Donovan
guard
Mitchell.
and as a point guard.
Yeah, man. We
Yeah,
look
Not
at
point guards, just guards.
guards we're looking at in totality.
Yeah, so Donovan Mitchell.
That will be 3.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like me I leave somebody before me say Jamaran. But me I agree say the youth game basically must be at number 1 because of his game.
No place for Luka.
Yeah, Luka miss a lot of games, but a lot. But
Miss significant time. All right, Chris. That's your 5.
But he made the All-Star game, so it's still enough to make the All-Star game.
Yeah, all right. So we can't beat you for your 5, Chris. So you have your 5. CC.
Well, as me say still, my 5, I might not give in particular order because if I gave you number 1, you'd have probably be surprised and say, it's a bias thing. But
no, man, but give me your 5, man.
There's no list without the point guard because
all right.
As I said before, as I mentioned, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
While Devin Booker looks good, I'm not taking anything away from him. But just like LeBron James is in the league, is Chris Paul, to a lesser mention. Chris Paul might have not won a title, but it's the Chris Paul's presence and the Chris Paul's effect that got the Phoenix Suns to the final. I cannot doubt that Devin Booker is a talent. We can all see that. The other big that they have there is a talent as well. But I think without Chris Paul, we wouldn't have seen the Phoenix Suns in an NBA final.
All right. So you having both
currently is the leading assist guy in the league. He have about 4 games with I think 11 or more assists plus a 19 assist game.
You make a case, man. You never break it down.
So there's no way I can create a list and don't say CP3.
So you have CP3 at the top of your list.
So I have CP3 at the top of my list because I think in the point guard area is playing as dominant. I have Jamorant at second. Because you basically seeing what Jamorant is doing. He's coming into his own and you realize that this guy is a young stud. Without injuries and all those things, we can see him going forward and doing greater things. I think I would put Steph Curry at 3 because Steph Curry, I've seen what he started out the season on fire. Luckily, he don't have to be doing it himself this season because Andrew Wiggins has come into his own, become an all-star.
Yeah.
Something that has come back to the team. Klay Thompson has come back to the team, so you know that with a little bit more help, I think he's off form right now, but it doesn't hurt the Warriors much.
Who is off form?
He's not necessarily on the form that we would expect him.
Curry.
Who's
Steph.
Steph.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, so may I say CP3, Jamorant, Steph. Depends on what we are calling Zach LaVine as. Is he a guard?
He's a
guard.
So I have to put Zach LaVine in it because it's criminal for what he and DeMar DeRozan is achieving at Chicago. We have never seen Chicago this good since the youngest MVP. The youngest MVP.
Oh, you mean Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose, yeah.
We won't even have to go as far as Michael Jordan, but the best Chicago that we've seen since Jordan was the Derrick Rose version.
All right, agreed.
And this Chicago that we're seeing now is a very
First
good
up,
team.
just give me the list.
Luka Doncic, I have at 5th.
5. All right, so you have no space for. Yes, you left off Booker.
Honorable mention Trae Young, but his team is too far. But for what he's doing
no
at
Booker, no Harden.
Atlanta Hawks, but his team is too far in the rankings. I think they're 10th or 9th. So
No, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Can't give you choices.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain the choices, man. It's
Yeah,
your,
man.
it's your,
The guards have been outstanding this season. It's a hard pick to make when you're picking guards because of how well they have been playing this season.
Yeah, and
All
Ja
right.
insert himself in the top 5,
Right.
so
So
squeeze out somebody.
we have another list somewhere because these are your picks, gentlemen. Nobody can knock you for your picks. You never forget as far as CC has gone in terms of breaking it down and explaining it. All right, so we have another list, but this time we're gonna shorten the list. I'm gonna go a shorter list now, saying and it is the top 3 big men in the league at this time. And by big men, we look at the people who play the power forward and the center position. All right, so I want each of you gentlemen. I'm going to reserve my list for last. See, I'm going to start with you this time, see, since you went last time around. Give me a top 3 big men in the league at this time, my brother.
I was about to say.
I never have a break it down. You never have big because, detail down as you were the last.
If we go back around and come back to me, man. I think
All right, fair enough. G-Star, I think you probably have your list ready. I'm going to sharp when it comes to these things. So we're going to start with you.
But funny here, you should have gone top 5. Top 3 a little too easy.
All right, top 3 easy?
Yeah, man. Because
all right,
you can say Joker, Embiid, and Giannis.
All right, so we could go top 5 then. We could go top 5.
Right.
You give me another order too, so we could go top 5. Let us not cheat the big men. So we went top 5 for the guards.
Yeah.
So let us not change or cheat the big men. So we are going top 5 big men in the league at this time. You know why I went top 3? Because I wanted to see who would be excluded, because I think top 5 kind of easy. So I wanted to see who you guys would have excluded from the league.
I think as G-Star said,
Anthony Davis has to be excluded.
All right, so we could go top 5. But all right, so that is 4 you're going G-Star. So give me a fifth one.
The 5th one.
And you give me another order where you put it.
The 5th one is a little bit harder now. I'd have to kind of scan through the league. But are we listing Draymond Green as a big man?
DeMar DeRozan is the 5th.
Are we listing Draymond Green as a big man?
DeRozan playing as a small forward. So may I say big?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, a power forward.
Oh, sorry. My bad. It's still easy. Karl Anthony Towns.
All right, so give me 1 to 5 to G.
So 1, I ain't give it to Giannis.
All right.
2, I ain't give it to Embiid.
Yeah.
3, and I'm shortchanging Joker a little bit, putting him at 3. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis at give me Karl Anthony Towns right now at 4, and then Anthony Davis at 5. I saw Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns play against each other, and Cat actually bullied Anthony Davis and won that match.
I saw that game too. We are move quickly along. We have some other discussions we have, so we don't even want to see too much on one thing. So Chris Lynch, I move right along to you, my virgin. Give me your top 5.
Yeah, man, start with the rookie of the year down in Cleveland. I like his game. Mobley. Yeah, I like his game. Putting him right there with these gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
But but I'm going with Anthony Davis next. G-Star.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have to go with Jokic 3.
At 3.
Yeah, and Giannis 2 and Embiid 1.
All right, so you have Embiid as the best big man in the league right now. I hope you finish compile the list by now.
Yeah, man. As I said, it's Anthony Davis. I wouldn't change anything in G-Star list except Embiid. I think at the end of the day, the top 3 players in the league right now are LeBron, Embiid, and Kevin Durant, and Sam.
All right. So you
You
have
understand? So I would have to have Embiid at number one. It's so in a way because Giannis is the reigning champion, but I would have to put Giannis at two because I think Embiid to me is a more gifted player than Giannis.
all right.
I can't knock that, bro. I mean, Embiid is right there.
All right. So I'm gonna give you my list now. I'm gonna probably spring a little surprise because as it stands right now, I squeeze Anthony Davis out of my top three, out of my top five. The man who may have at number 5, and it might sound a little blasphemous, is
Please
DeAndre.
don't say Rudy Gobert.
Oh man, DeAndre Ayton.
Okay.
Pioneer and a go beer, so that's no surprise.
No, if you say Gobert, trust me.
The rest of the list kind of speaks for itself. As I say, I have 8 in it. AD is coming back, but AD have to prove to me, say him all the way back. I've always had my question about AD, and especially as a man. The other as a leader of a team. You know what I say? I want to see him LeBron is out, I want to see him lead him team. I put up some numbers, but sometimes for me, I come back like a shot. So I squeeze him out. I have him as an honorable mention and having DeAndre Ayton. At 4, you have to put in Karl Anthony Towns. The man has been balling him between himself and Anthony Edwards. Them have Timberwolves now and the up and up.
Yeah, man.
Like them gonna be a possible, not a great contender, but them will make some noise in the West. And I kind of flip it around. I have Giannis at 3 right now. Joker the reigning MVP, and I have seen Milwaukee without Giannis, and they have held their own. But without Joker, the Nuggets is nothing. So the two man who may have at the top of the list is Giannis at 3, the Joker at 2, and Embiid as the best big man in the league right now for me because he's carrying his team. Both of those gentlemen are carrying their teams. Both Giannis and Joker. Not Giannis, both Embiid and Joker. And without them, their teams are, shells, basically. And we move along quickly now because we have limited time. And I like this whole thing with naming lists. So we will move right along to at this, we're about 52 games in the season. Most teams have played 50 or more. Some teams have played as much as 54, 55 games. So my question is, we're 52 games average in the season. The MVP race at this time, gentlemen. How are we seeing the MVP race? And we're going to go top 3 in this case. Top 3 MVP candidate in this case.
All right. So we're going first now. CC. You have the list? CC.
All right. Top 3 MVP. Number 1 right now, the MVP. If it league stop today.
Yeah,
by the way, Cash Red. LeBron is more like a point forward. He really factor in the big man list.
Even though he would have played center a couple times this season.
Yeah, but I think
he's not.
LeBron is a hybrid type of player.
Yeah, all right. And Cash Red made a point, which I understand the point I want to make. He's saying that because I mentioned leading the gentlemen leading their team, and me mentioning wanting to see AD leading.
It's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. Ayton not leading his team, and that is a solid point.
But my vote MVP thing is controversial.
Go ahead.
At number 2, we have the guy who have 2 letters to his name.
Okay.
Ja Morant. But at number 2. At number 3, even though this might put him up in this conversation about GOAT and all these things, I don't have to give him it when he play. The guy has been phenomenal at his age, at the amount of mileage and his playing career. So LeBron James, number 3. Number 1, if the league stops right now, Joel Embiid is the MVP.
All right. Chris Lynch, you will move to next,
Boy. CC list sounds probably very much like mine, but because so much of the top players have missed so much games, it made this list even intriguing more.
Mm-hmm.
But
when you say top players, because you have LeBron has missed time, KD has missed time.
Yeah, that's the big part about it.
Embiid has a little bit of time. So
all of them. But obviously, Ja Morant is 3 for me. Ja Morant is 3. Um, the 38-year-old is is 2 for me. LeBron James. And like I say, number 1, Embiid, CC, leading the pack.
all right, MB this a lead in the pack. All right, what you say, G Star?
For me, at number 3, what I'd go with, it kind of tied for 2 really. Embiid and Joker, right? Because what Joker is doing in the West is really not normal stuff, you know. And he's had the best numbers in the league. No Michael Porter Jr. No what's his name again? No Jamal Murray. No Jamal Murray. So when you look at what he has as opposed to what Embiid is missing, they're kind of close. So for me, they tied for second, right? And then I would go with Ja. I would go Ja. Ja probably not gonna get it because of his the name, but if you just take out biasness, for me, I think Ja is the real MVP.
Based on what he has to play with G Star, like you use for Joker, based on his players, Ja Morant is right up there.
You know, that is why.
And they are close though, you know. It's still close. Like
we have Romario
they're close together.
We have Romario Lawrence saying Steph definitely have to in the top.
Nah.
So all of you gentlemen have given your top. I'm not gonna surprise you right now, no, because all right, for me, let me quantify what I'm gonna say by saying this. For me, most valuable player means most valuable player. Your value is your value to your team. All right, so before me even going further, even though I love what Ja Morant is doing this year, I'm gonna have Ja in my top 3 voting because I've seen Memphis without Ja and they were doing just fine. Jackson Jr. was leading the team and they were I think Ja missed probably about
10 games.
10 games. I think they won 7 or 8 of those 10 games. So even though
I think they won about 9 or 8, actually.
the team was just fine without Ja. So for me, may I go up with the persons who are proving to be most valuable to their team. And third on the list for me is Giannis. As a matter of fact, it's all big man list, to tell you the truth. It's Giannis for me at number 3 because even though I've seen Milwaukee without him, but they have probably a 50-50 record without him. And the 2 at the top, when I mentioned earlier in my big man list, is that without Joker, Denver is nothing. And the one at the top of the list to me is Embiid. Embiid without Ben Simmons, he had to do some time without Steph Curry in point guard. And even though they kind of fell off last night, so I think they are 5th now on the ranking.
There's one player doing a pioneer that we are doing no justice, you know. And I think because just like Ja, he might not get it, but we have to mention it. DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, man. All right. If it was a top 5 list, I would squeeze DeMar DeRozan in over Steph.
He's in the conversation.
See, some would probably have LeBron at number 7, Steph at 6, DeRozan at 5. And
okay. By the way, speaking of LeBron, CC, you're a Laker fan, right?
No.
You're not a Laker fan?
No, sir. Philly are my
team. You're not a LeBron fan?
Philadelphia.
He said that. He said that he's not. He said that LeBron is not his player earlier. G Star. You're not listening to CC.
Man. AI.
No, he's look. I'd probably undercover LeBron.
No, bro.
No, man. He just realized greatness.
Why would LeBron be at 3?
Why would LeBron be at 3?
Why would LeBron has missed a ton of games, right? He's playing well enough, but I don't think he's playing well as those other players.
No, because listen, let me tell you. All right,
maybe
maybe I'm giving the list that might come out at ESPN or might come out in the media, because at the end of the day, even if LeBron, so for example, LeBron missed those games, as I said, but he wins the scoring title. And really and truly, Anthony Davis and the other guys aren't stepping up. So it's actually when he is there, the team is stepping up. So
Yeah, but
Also, the media list.
even with LeBron and the Lakers, I think they have something like a 6-4 record.
yeah, but I'm saying to you,
I'm
the narrative. I'm just saying the caliber of player that he is, the narrative behind LeBron James, and everything that encompasses him.
Also, you're working with the narrative.
He will make the list because remember that the MVP thing, are you saying that I should give my honest opinion onto which list? Honest opinion, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, them are the Rosen.
Okay.
Understand? Ja Morant is in the conversation, but
Okay.
if you really look at it, MVP, as we all know, is always sometimes a narrative-driven award in terms of.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
I was on that one.
Before KD got injured, KD was right up there too,
Yeah, it's just that as he's got injured.
Gentlemen, we have a late. I don't want to call him old. I don't want to use the word comma, guys. We have a late
Arrival.
we have a late arrival. The plane got stuck up in the snow up so. Seeing we have the man Kems online. Seeing and we understand so Kems have a few things we want to set straight. But in the interest of
What's that? Kems is all over the place.
Kems, we add Kems to the stream right now. Welcome forward, Kems.
Listen.
I'm sure I hope you have been listening to the conversations. So just for sake of all right. So we are gonna just ask you I don't know if you have been hearing, the conversations we're having in terms of the list we have been compiling. So I'm gonna ask you quickly, and this is in the interest of time now. I ask you just quickly for this. Give me your top 5 point guards. You don't no need for explanation. Top 5 point guard, top 5 big men, and your top 3 MVP. We allow you to elaborate a little bit on the MVP.
Fine, so far. Give me a second.
All right, Jason. So Kems, give me your top 5.
Top 5 point guard this season?
Yeah, man. We're not going like in terms of body. We're going active this season and by play this season.
All right. So my number 1 point guard, is a man who I think is the most underrated player in the league. Right now, I'd say Chris Paul for me.
All right.
I'm sorry, what that man has done, for Phoenix.
You have him at number 1, right?
Yeah, I have him at number 1.
As I said, just in the interest of time, Kems. Don't elaborate too much on
okay. All right.
Just give me a list. You can make a one sentence in elaborate a sentence, but not too much.
Yeah, so I have Chris Paul 1. Right now I'd have Ja Morant. I'd have Ja Morant 2, and I'm really not a Ja Morant fan, but he has been playing out of his mind.
Right.
I'd put. It depends how you define. It depends how you define Luka. Do you have Luka as a point guard?
Yeah, man. Luka definitely.
It's guard. It's guard overall.
My bad, Kems. It's actually guards. We're not discussing point guards. We're discussing.
It's guards overall.
Luka is indeed a point guard, but we are discussing guards over.
Okay, all right. So in that case, then I'd put Chris Paul. Then would I put Luka? Then I'd put Ja. Then would I put Steph? And then would I put Booker? I see a gentleman who was talking about DeRozan, but we'll talk about that later.
All right. No, DeRozan is not a guard. We don't have DeRozan as a guard. DeRozan actually, Levine is a guard, but DeRozan is actually listed as a forward. So give me a top 5 big man. Give me a top 5 big man. James.
Top 5 big men. So I have Joel Embiid.
You're going from 1 to 5, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I have Joel Embiid 1. I have Giannis 2. I have Joker 3. I would say I put Rudy Gobert in there. I put Rudy Gobert 4. And
can somebody throw him out the chat, please?
And
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. Now Rudy Gobert has been playing some impressive basketball. And I don't like Rudy Gobert. 5. I put soft tissue up there in 5. I don't know. That's Anthony
Davis.
That's Anthony Davis.
No more street clothes. Street clothes.
Man soft like porridge. And then
Came
you said,
nothing to Anthony Davis. Them saying it's soft.
and you said top three. You said top three MVP candidates.
MVP candidates at this time.
At this point, I have Joel Embiid at one. You know what he's doing. You know, despite all the noise that's going on, he's sensational. I'll put Giannis at two. And then I'll put Chris Paul at three.
All right, gentlemen. Well, just in the interest of time, we are going to more just want to let them know this is gonna be something we are doing on a regular basis. I can't tell you, so we'll do this again Monday. Monday we'll be discussing the trades and the trade deadline. But in the interest of time, I think we only have maybe about 14 minutes left. We want to take a look at the current standing of the teams in the NBA. And where do you think who do you think will rise? Who do you think will fall? Who do you think will be making the playoffs and the play-in tournament at the end of the season? We are 50, as I said earlier, maybe 52 games in. Some teams have played as much as 55 games. Some teams have played as little as, I think the Thunders have played 50 games. So I could say we're 52 games in on average. With 30 games left in the season, how do you, gentlemen, see the standing stacking up? And we will start in the East. Who do you see making the playoffs in the East? Who do you see making the play-in tournament? Who are the 4 teams you see? Who are the 6 you see with automatical playoff spots? Who are the 4 teams you see in the play-in tournament? And is there any team that is now in the standing that you think will be relegated from making the playoffs or the play-in tournament? Kem, since you just forward in the Virgin, we are going to allow you to start first. I want some time to think about that.
No, not necessarily. I have it right in front of me. For me personally, the teams that I believe will in the East that I think will make the 6 automatic spots. I think the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat will make that easily. I think the Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia will make it easily. I think Milwaukee will make it easily. I think, depending on what going on with Brooklyn, if they really trade Harden or not, but I still think Brooklyn should make it easily as well.
So you have Heat, Milwaukee, Sixers, Brooklyn that are 4.
That are 4. Chicago, I think Chicago will make it.
All right.
That's 5. Cleveland looking real good as well, so I'll go with Cleveland.
All right. So teams like Raptors, Celtics, Hornets, Hawks,
those teams in the plane. Those teams will be in the plane tournament fighting for those last 2 spots.
No space for with the Wizards or the Knicks.
Oh no, the Wizards are trash, and the Knicks, obviously the Knicks, they're going on a downward slope right now. Have you seen Julius Randle just requested a trade? You know, unfollow them off of Instagram and say he wants out of New York. So, then and I guess I don't know. I believe Tom Thibodeau is one of those old school coaches who is just stuck in his ways and not up to the time. When you're not up to the time, it will leave you behind. So I think the Knicks need a new coach. I think obviously they need a superstar. They get Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, Alec Burke, all those kind of people. Those people don't strike me as people who can bring it to the playoffs. So the Knicks are exactly where they deserve to be. Washington, they made up a bunch of noise at the start of the season, but obviously they are who they are. They were some great pretenders. So I don't even think Washington will make the playoffs. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. No, they'll make the plane. They can make the plane, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. When you're in the plane, then they can make
the playoffs.
But you didn't have them in your 10. I remember we have 6 automatic playoff teams and 4 playing teams.
You want me to name a playing team?
Yeah,
right? Okay, so I'm a playing team, right? So I'm playing team right now. I'm going to go with Boston. Boston has been on a tear in the last couple of games, so I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to go with the Hawks. Trae Young doing his thing. I don't trust the Raptors. I'm going to go with Charlotte. I like what Charlotte got going on over there.
And one more.
You know what? Let me do. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raptors. I'm gonna go with the Raptors.
So you have the Wizards out, and you said the
Yeah,
Knicks.
the Wizards.
Exactly. So I move
Yeah,
on
man.
quickly. We're going directly to you, CC. CC, look like your mic is muted, Don't seem like your mic muted.
Oh yeah, I mute my mic man when time I was talking.
All right.
No background.
All right. So following on Kem's CC, I understand so now like a rivalry are going. I'm kind of bring it right here, and I am sure it's sports. Give me your. As a matter of fact, all right. So we could just finish the East first, and then we'll go to the West. So give me your top
Oh, for
six
the East,
European teams in
the
the
top 6 team.
yeah.
To be honest, I don't see currently like the Bulls. I think to me the Bulls are gonna win the Bulls either are gonna win the East or they might come second. And a lot of persons because they're out running, out leading. Some persons are saying, "Oh no," but depending on how the season shapes up, the Bulls to me is finishing top 2.
All right. So give me the next 5.
Yeah, so I have the Bulls. I have the 8. I have the Bulls the 8. Cavaliers, Bucks, Sixers, Nets.
Right, so as it stands right now, you have all of those 6 teams.
Yeah, man. I have all of those teams going to the playoff.
All right, and then the play-in.
The play-in now. I think the play-in will be as it is currently, because I think the Wizards and the rest at the bottom won't stand. Won't get into it. I don't. The only team that probably have a chance of getting in would be, I would say, the Wizards over the Hawks. But the Hawks have Trae Young, right? And he's playing phenomenal. So I think Trae Young will give his team a chance to be in the play-in. So I definitely don't see anything changing in that respect. But I have 76ers to be like top 3. But I have Bulls finishing up there as well.
All right. Christine, shall I move directly to you? G-Star, skip out power for a minute. Hopefully he'll join us back later. And so give me your team.
Yeah, man, we'll go Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, Chicago Bulls, Brooklyn Nets, Miami Heat, lose my chain of thought, Philly.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
5.
help you because obviously you're not looking at the list. Cavs sitting in third right now. You have them making the playoffs.
Well, yeah, Cavs. Them are the top 6 from the miss out. Yeah, Cavs.
All right. And the play-in as it stands. Who you have in the
And the play-in I go with Celtics, Atlanta, and tell me who's sitting, who else? Raptors. Celtics, Atlanta, Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lamelo, Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte. I'm gonna go with Charlotte.
All right. All right. So let me give my list quickly. And interesting, gentlemen. If you notice, only 8 games. All right. Only 8 games separate the top 10 teams in the league right now. The Hawks, who is sitting in 8, is 8 games away. Is 8 games from the top. Actually, the Knicks, who is sitting in 9th, are 9 games off. So for me, the standing can change. I think this is a liquid. The standing as liquid as ever. And let me start at the bottom. For me, I think, based on what I'm seeing at the Nets right now, I'm worried for them and think them now going to make the playoffs. Because there's no timeline on KD returning. Kyrie and James Harden have chemistry issues to me. And they're falling fast. Seeing they're now sitting 6th, and they're half a game ahead of the Raptors, and they're only 1 game ahead of the Celtics. Seeing they're also only, what is this? 1 game ahead of 1.5 games ahead of the Hornets. Some have them as a playing team, unless KD comes back before the All-Star break or directly after the All-Star break.
Well, he's not coming back before the All-Star break for sure, and he's probably going to come back probably if the timetable is right 3 weeks after the All-Star break. But quickly, all right, my bad.
All right, so all of that considered, I have them as a playing team. A team that I think will be in the playoffs, who will see a rise fast, because I think they were a conference semifinalist last year. Had their little issues at the beginning of the season, but I think they might get it together now. the Atlanta Hawks. Them a play really good basketball for me. Them on the rise. Me see them a go on some crazy winning streaks and them in the top 6. This is my opinion. I'm like speak these things into beings before them at me.
Not say nothing fun.
Tell them man say 2 nights ago I predict so the Suns winning streak are
Yeah.
gonna
If Kems watch the Atlanta Hawks, he would shake him head because
why am I shaking head?
them look different than the team are coming in the season. Them just look different.
And
What
even
they probably last 4.
Well,
and even though they lost last night to the Raptors, that was second night of a back-to-back, I think it was.
So what was the Suns? What was the Suns when the Suns play? What they were on the second night of a back-to-back as well when they lost.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were actually. Tricked out.
No.
They were. But
No, look at it.
let me tell you something about the Atlanta Hawks, Chris Lynch. These again. I tell you about these teams already.
Stick up in, Kems. We'll get to that. Let me just give them a list. And let me tell you, that this is just my opinion, and this is just based on just observation of how the league is progressing. All right, all right. I have the Bulls that make the playoffs. I have the Heat definitely. I think the Heat are gonna finish at top at the East. Larry a come back. We hear say even Victor Oladipo is coming back, and I think so the Heat is probably the deepest team in the East right now. We have the Bucks. I like this young Cavaliers team. I think they will be in the playoff also. The top 6. Them play good, and even though them exciting and them young, them play good on both ends of the court. And I think them have good chemistry. Unlike the Hornets, who I think is also exciting, but them play a little bit more individual basketball. I think the Hornets want to play like a Showtime team. Bridges want dunk and LaMelo Ball want to have some spectacular passes and shoot some trees. So I don't think the chemistry. Cavs for me is a team. Them play like a team. Them young, but them play like a team. So I have Bulls, Heat, Cavs, Bucks, Sixers, and Atlanta in my top 6. The Nets are gonna be a playing team. The Raptors is gonna be a playing team. I think of all of those, I think the Celtics might finish 7 for me. The Celtics are get together, and if the Hornets can keep it together, they're probably gonna finish 10 for me over the Wizards. All right, but I have the Nets unless KD returns quickly as a playing team. Like we switch to the West, gentlemen. We'll examine the individual teams, but in the interest of time, we got almost an hour, and an hour was just time stated for this podcast. So we could just switch quickly to the West as to how we see the West panning out. Starting with you again, Ken. So I'll give you a first shot.
Kems, you're muted.
Kems.
Oh, my bad. The best team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns. I think that they will win. I think that they'll win the West. Obviously Golden State will make it. Obviously Memphis will make it. The Utah Jazz will make it. The Dallas Mavericks will make it. And 6th, I'm going with the Los Angeles Lakers will make it. I think Denver is a playing team. I don't think Denver is that good at all. Obviously Joker has been doing what he's doing, but I don't think he's that good. So I think Denver will be in the play-in. Obviously, I think Minnesota will be in the play-in. I think the Clippers will be in the play-in. And I'm going to go with San Antonio in the play-in.
So Lakers now make play-in or playoff?
No, he has him in the playoff.
Lakers in the playoffs.
He has Lakers in the playoff, CC.
Playing near that side, they're not good enough, brother.
Whole heap of faith, that brother.
Well, when you look at the record, Denver is 28-24, and Lakers is 25-28. I like and AD start playing like he wants to play basketball. So if LeBron comes back,
you're not bother trading him for Julius Randle.
I never said that. I want to trade him for Karl Anthony Towns. I'll trade him right now for him.
So you gave us your 6 and your 4 playing games.
Yep.
CC, let me hear. Give me your list.
My list is the Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies. I think when you're picking a list at this point in time in the season, it kind of doesn't do
Just
much favor, much
but
justice, you know.
yes, that's based on observation, and yeah, we are looking on injuries.
Yeah, but based on observation, though, I think Clippers is right where they should be because they're not whatever experimental that they were trying to do, and even without point guards and all these things,
You
it's
mean
not working.
Clippers?
Yeah, it's not working out because they
Yeah.
realize. I think for the past 3 seasons, they might experiment on this team here. So then the Lakers now. I think the Lakers is too old, and from the season start, man.
All right. So listen what you do for me now, CC, man. Just give me the
So
list coming down from 1. Give me
so
your
man,
top 6. Give me your
as I
top
said,
6, and then you give me your playing teams, and then elaborate on your playing teams when you reach.
yeah, man,
All
man
right, so
have
give me your top 6. You have
Suns,
Lakers,
Warriors,
Warriors,
Grizzlies,
Grizzlies, yeah.
Jazz,
All right.
um, boy, I see the Dallas. I have the Dallas Mavericks.
All right.
The Nuggets. You know, since as me have, me go stick with Lakers in the plane. Me go keep the Nuggets where they are. But between the Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, to me, is going to the playoff.
Oh, so you have switch places. You have put the
Yeah,
Nuggets,
man.
the Timberwolves at 6, and the Nuggets down at the plane.
Yeah, I have Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers, and Blazers. I'm gonna have Lakers, Clippers. I go play each other in the plane because you see, they wanted Clippers, Lakers in our conference final. But you know
Yeah.
what them are going to end up in our playing tournament trying to get into the playoff.
All right, we're gonna move on quickly. Gentlemen, we have 8 minutes left to wrap up this broadcast. We're going an hour and 2 minutes already. We're not going over an hour and 10 minutes. So I could just slide through. Chris Lynch, give me your listing.
Yeah, man. Suns, Jazz, Warriors, Dallas, Grizzlies.
That's a 5. Give me the 6, man. Automatic.
Yeah, I'm feeling Grizzlies and I might just go with the Lakers.
You're going to the Lakers as a 16. That
At
means
6.
that means you have Nuggets and T-Wolves and Clippers in the playing then.
Yeah.
And who's the 4th playing team for you?
Nuggets, Clippers, yes, and Nuggets, Clippers, T-Wolves. Somebody. Give me the other teams. Give me 3 other teams pioneer. What man
Yeah, Pelicans, Spurs, Blazers.
I'll go with the Spurs.
All right, I'll go with the Spurs. All right, in my list, I'll start with the playing teams. I have the Spurs. No, well, I don't have the Spurs. I have the Kings. See, this got. I think the last spot, the 10th spot, I go be a toss up between the Kings and the Spurs. But I slide the Kings. They were good early in the season. Some injuries to Fox and some little disorientation with the team. But I think they're gonna come back at the end of the season. So I have them as one of my playing teams. Portland are gonna fall out because I think them have a trade. Them trade Covington and Norman Powell to the Clippers. They're gonna be a boost for the Clippers, and they're gonna make it just kind of for them team are gonna disintegrate into nothingness for me. Seeing so I have Kings, I have the Lakers in the playing. Seeing the Clippers, I don't think they're gonna reach as far as the playoffs. I have them as a playing team also. And I think somehow the Nuggets are gonna slide down into the plane. Close thing for them, probably gonna finish a close 7. I have the T-Wolves as a playoff team. I love Carl Anthony Towns and Edwards do. Them lose Russell, but I think even losing Russell, them still a formidable team. So I have the Mavericks in the playoffs also. The Jazz did up on a free fall already, but Donovan Mitchell came back last night, so I think he will steady the ship. Them lose Joe Ingles to injury, and it looked like him out for the rest of the season. But I think with Mitchell and the Castle, they did them good to hold it up. And then the top 4, obviously, but me have the Warriors are finished atop the standings, as them 2 games off right now, and they got them all catch fire. Klay Thompson caught fire a couple nights ago. Draymond will come back a little bit after the All-Star break. Them have Suns to play one more time in the season. I think that's going to be like a decider as to who got top of this the thing. But me
Warriors.
have Warriors at top, Suns second. Me have the Grizzlies that hold them steady. Meds at third. And Jazz as myself go hold them on because Mitchell come back. And the Mavericks. And me have the Timberwolves are coming at the top 6. That is my.
I'm tell you from now, I have Warriors Philly in the final.
The Warriors feeling at the final. So since we got them, I could do it quickly then. No? We have 4 minutes left, gentlemen. James, give me your all right. So we go around here. We have
Games are clear and true.
all right. You know, may have a little trivia to more and chew at you guys, you know. So I could do it quickly. May I give each man 30 seconds. Tell me your finals and tell me why. 30 seconds. James.
The Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, again, you know, you guys seem to be some sensationalists about the Warriors. The Warriors is nowhere as good as the Phoenix Suns. When you talk about the 9-man rotation that the Phoenix Suns have, the Warriors can only dream to have a rotation like that. The Warriors can only dream to have star power like what the Phoenix Suns have, especially with cohesion. Klay Thompson come back, okay, still does nothing for me because I don't think they're as good as the Suns. When it relates to the Bucks now, I just think the Bucks is taking the regular season as a joke right now because they believe that they already won the championship. They already got the monkey off their back. So I just believe that they're just cruising. And when the playoff come into town, you know, they will step it up. I don't see a team in the East right now who can stop Milwaukee. I don't see a player who can stop Giannis right now because Giannis, again, he's a man on a mission. And that man, when he decides to put his head down, he is totally unstoppable. And I said,
all right. Well said, guys. I'll move on to you, CC. I'm going to say, we have 2.5 minutes.
Well, maybe I'm the sensational one.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I think I have Golden State Phoenix in the final, the conference final. So I give Golden State the edge. But it can go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix Suns reach the final. Because as I said, Chris Paul has had a taste of the finals and I think he wants to win that ring. So I wouldn't really put it past them.
So we have come out of the East. We have two.
Out of the East, it's sentimental. Philadelphia 76ers. Although we have a man who can't shoot to save him life, but Joel Embiid finals.
All right, Chris Lynch.
It's sentimental.
Quickly, may I use the last minute? May I have 2 trivia questions, gentlemen? May I go ask?
All right.
Hold on, let me say this. May I have 2 trivia questions? So may I ask those questions? May I ask all 3 of you gentlemen for putting the hands up? We can't Google thing for going. Because I want to make sure that the man them now Google nothing. So I ask them for sure. See? But we make Christian give him finalists first, and then we'll give mine, and then we're gonna move on to 2 quick trivia questions. I want to see who can answer quickly. All right. So
yeah, man, the Bucks, like Kem says, a dangerous team. Look like when LeBron was in the East and having a field day after he got to the conference final. You basically just cruise out the season because you realize now that the season is not really where you need to put in all the work. So that's how the Bucks look. And this in the West can change for me. I'm looking at the next 50.
Well, I'm to Chris Lynch. Chris Lynch, jump out.
Credit done. No.
No,
I'm on the road him there.
Yeah, Chris Lynch up on the road. All right. So I'll give my thing quickly. Chris Lynch, my virgin, if you join us back quickly, because more wanting a trivia thing at you know. I think maybe the trivia is nice between these 2 gentlemen. Like, I understand now a little rivalry are going. So might just exploit the rivalry for this trivia. All right, for me, I have the Bucks. I also have the Bucks and the Warriors in the final. I think when the Warriors get all their pieces, we do want to see and you talk about a 9-man rotation. The Warriors are gonna put together in the playoff maybe a 12-man rotation. Because they have players. When you look at people like Otto Porter Jr., when you look like Jonathan Kamingo, the young rookie who have come to the fore, saying I think what the Warriors have to offer right now. And when Draymond comes back and they get it together, the Warriors are gonna be hard to beat. It is as Jamaicans say, something we are coming on, so we see it. You understand? But for me, the Warriors, when they get there, the Warriors have one weakness in their team, and it's a big man. I have advocated for a trade of James Wiseman for probably a Miles Turner or somebody like that. However, I think even if Wiseman comes back, even with his little deficiencies we have, he will, along with Draymond, they will plug the thing enough. So I have Warriors in the finals, and I have Warriors actually win the championship. Might be a little biased, but That is how it is. So, gentlemen, may I have 2 trivia questions for all 3 of you gentlemen. Let me just take the first one for answer. Saying first one, I'm saying more say hands there, because I want to make sure it's a Google thing now going. All right. So
Using my phone Pioneer, so you can't see me next time.
Go on, give me one hand. See? All right. Now, there's an active player right now who is top 10 all times in the NBA in a rebound. Could you tell me which player that is? Oh, in the top 10 of the NBA, there's only one. In rebounding, there's only one active player right now. Could any of you gentlemen tell me who that player is?
Luka Doncic?
No.
No,
Luka,
no,
who?
If not place
Isn't
much
that-
came from. I must
isn't-
LBJ.
Isn't that
Must be
Isn't that
LeBron.
LeBron?
No.
Must be LeBron.
No.
And if it's not LeBron,
May I give you a second chance? One more
if it's
answer.
not, hold on.
Russell?
Rebound? No,
If it's still
Russell,
not
no.
there,
Oh, yeah, man. It's one active player. Top 10. In the top 10, there's only one active player. I mean, I say, this is the NBA. I mean, I go old. ABA. This is NBA. One
Mark
active player.
Gasol.
Huh? Who?
Is it Mark Gasol?
No. All right. I'm helping you.
No, not active.
Is
Oh,
Dwight Howard.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard is the only active
You
player.
know, say I'm still a player, brother.
Yeah, man. But Dwight Howard in the Lakers team, Virgin.
He's
Never
active,
done
man.
Baltimore
Yeah, man.
Tar.
It's a Pagan one here to answer the thing there.
Yeah, man. Howard, man.
Yeah.
Howard.
All right. So, all right. The next one is a little easier now. The next one is much easier. But all right. So, remember, brother, I'm going to hands, because I'm not trusting on the phone and the Google thing, Saying, all right, there are 5 and PER. You know, he's a stat man to Chris Lynch. I'm a figure say CC is a stat man. There are 5 active players in the top 10 PER listing. All right, so I can answer collectively. See? And some of them are obvious.
Yeah,
But
it's obvious.
there are 5 active players all time in a PE in an all time PER. NBA no. This is just NBA we are talking.
Yeah, man. Giannis obviously
So,
in there.
so I can answer collectively. PER, all time leader. All time
When I
leader.
listen to Pioneer, I tell you, say Giannis
Yeah,
obviously.
man, me hear you, to be honest. Me not answer.
LBJ in there.
All right.
Anthony Davis. Steph Curry.
Steph 99.
No, in the top 5. Kevin?
Top 10, me say now.
Top 10?
Yeah. There are 5 in the top 10. There are 5 players. There are 5 active players in the all-time top 10 PER listing.
I have, as I said, Giannis, LeBron, Joel Embiid.
No, Embiid 99.
Embiid, no.
No.
But when I
AD,
got 3 I know, I say Giannis and LeBron. AD.
Christian say AD. Luka.
No.
PR.
Carl Anthony Towns is the 5th one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never guessed that.
You see that, and that is the thing. That is why sometimes stats can be a little misleading.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen. As I said, this is the 3rd edition of this thing what we call around the NBA. Something we are strive to do on a regular basis, at least every other day. The league is coming down to the business end right now. We have to do some little reviews when it comes All-Star Weekend also, and then after the All-Star Weekend, we all know that the NBA is up and in full effect at that time. What I call the business end of the regular season, where teams will be jostling for places in the playoffs. So we have to strive to do this at least every day, sometimes every other day, and we look at the results of the games. So that whenever we look at the results in a game, but in the coming days, we look at results of games. It is good to have all of you gentlemen, and we're going to ask participation going forward. You all sound like knowledgeable, and I'm sure that the people in watching and listening would agree that you're all very knowledgeable NBA analysts. So I look forward to having you gentlemen when you're available in the future. Saying give thanks for the participation. Give thanks to G-Star who had to check out a little earlier. Give thanks CC. Give thanks Kems, Chris Lynch. This is you're up on the road, man, and we give thanks to the boy. You take the time out of your day, in your vehicle, and be a part of this, So, ladies and gentlemen who out in internet land, I am Pioneer, and this is another version. This has been another version of Around the NBA here on I Am Sure Sports, the channel where I call the most credible and most substantive online sports channel in Jamaica. Saying big up all of the other sporting channel them. I know that a couple of you gentlemen have their own channels going. We plug CC Sports Lab. Is that a channel, CC?
Yeah, man, it's a channel. It's a channel.
I'm not yet a subscriber, but I can guarantee you, so as I come off of this, we will subscribe.
Yeah. So tomorrow I will be covering doing a watch along for the African Cup of Nations finals between Egypt and Senegal,
All
where
right.
we are going to have something that face each other. The two Liverpool men in
Yeah.
Sadio Mane versus
Salah.
the Egyptian prince in Salah.
All right.
With Edward Mendy in goal, so you can look out for that.
I'll definitely join in. So people, you hear that, you can subscribe to CC Sports Lab. And as I see, I've heard CC on the radio. Long time we hear the man up on the radio and the man, knowledgeable in sports.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
This is
man.
our virgin. We're a community. We strive to support each other. Man is man, our virgin and our general. I am sure sports is growing. I want to keep it growing and keep it going, as I always say. Chris Lynch, I give thanks, my virgin.
Yeah, man, big up Pioneer.
Check out. I know Kems is a part of the Sports Frenzy group. Seeing so.
Yeah, Kems actually do a NBA show, I think, on Saturday night. I think.
And Sports Frenzy.
Yeah.
All right. So gentle folks, you hear that. So this is I am Pioneer, and this has been another in around the NBA podcast here on I Am Sure Sports. We'll be back here on Monday, where we'll do it all over again. We'll look at the games that have been played today and tomorrow, and we'll do reviews. And as I said, we'll take a look at with the trade window approaching. We'll look at what is happening in the trade window. There are some trades happening already. We look at the trades that have happened up until Monday, and we look at the prospective trades that will be eyeing up until the trade deadline on the 10th of February. So do you have yourself, people, a wonderful and safe weekend. And as I say again, this is I Am Sure Sports, and I'm Pioneer, and we're out.
All right, out.